All right, so what I have here is a eclectic of 22 caliber rounds. I'll be shooting these. Let's do it in we'll do it in this order. I'll start with the CCI 22 shorts in hollow point, copper plated. They're rated at 1105 feet per second. Then I'll go to the 22 super extra shorts in 29 grains. These are copper plated round nose bullets. There's no rating on the box, but I'm pretty sure they're coming in at a, nearly the same velocity, possibly hotter, maybe in the 1200 feet per second range. I'd have to check that out on online and do a little research. Then I'll go to the 22 longs, and these are 29 grain copper plated round nose. And then I'll move to the conical bullet, the CB 22 long lead round nose, where the copper plated ones are coming in at 1215 feet per second as rated. The lead round nose are rated at 710. I've fired them out of a rifle. I've achieved velocities as high as 743, but I didn't bring my chronograph today. These are both 29 grain bullets. We'll be doing an accuracy test right now. So, again, first up will be the 22 short hollow points from CCI. Get a gander at that. Now 22 long, 22 rimfire, 22 short, 22 long rifle, the defunct 22 extra long. They all have the same diameter bullet and cartridge. The cartridge is the same diameter as the bullet. So generally speaking, like if you have a tubular style magazine and you want to max it out, like let's say you're doing some squirrel hunting or you're cooning out there and you want to max it out with a 29 grain or 27 grain hollow point load. Let me get that at a half cock, get a little turn in there. You put 22 shorts inside of that, and you're gonna be getting, depending on the make of your rifle, you're going to be getting a significant bonus in the rounds that you're carrying and have already on hand and loaded. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to do accuracy test as far as, since I have 7 rounds, I'll do 4 rounds center mass. I'll do it offhand. I'll do 4 rounds center mass rapid fire, and then 3 rounds bench rest. I'll do single action headshots. Alright, so this has like a 16-pound double action trigger. So I'll do 16 rounds, 4 rounds rapid fire in the gut. Can't really tell from here what the accuracy's like. Looks like they were patterning low. Now I'll do some bench rest style headshot. I'll tell you that these sights are nothing to brag about. Let me take this apart and dump the rounds. Hey, not a failure to fire on any of them. So CCI short hollow points in what is it, 27 grain. Pretty good load, at least as far as reliability goes. I mean, you can't really tell the whole batch from 7. But if I was going to take this pistol out, to run a trap line and dispatch raccoons at point blank range, I wouldn't mind using a 27 grain hollow point from CCI. Alright. I'm going to decock this on a primer. I'm going to go take a look down here. I'll bring you with me. All right. One, let me get my marker out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one at the top of the head, that's 5. That's 6. So not very accurate with the shorts, but I'm pretty sure at point blank range it'll do. And since I was aiming slow and deliberate at the head, I'd say that one of the ones that hit low was probably from the slow and deliberate, and I pulled around with the rapid fire. So again, that was the CCI 22 shorts coming out of the Young America. Next, we're moving on to the Aguilas. The Aguila Super Extra Shorts, 29 grain, round nose. We'll go 4 center mass rapid fire, and then we'll do 3 aiming at the head, single action. All right. I'm basically just point shooting with the double action. I will tell you that the Aguilas smell worse than the CCI. But again, not bad on the reliability there. 7 out of 7. Manufacturing in 22 caliber significantly improved even since the 90s. So when you talk about reliability, you know, it's definitely not on par with centerfire, but it's way better than it used to be. So next up is going to be the copper plated round nose. These are 22 longs. Same parent cartridge as a 22 long rifle. And that again bridged the gap between 22 extra long, which was 4 rifles, and 22 short, which was 4 revolvers. And those were the old days of black powder when it started going towards smokeless. The 22 long rifle basically defunct because there was no gain in performance for a 40 grain bullet in 22 extra long. So when you don't have a gain in performance and you have, you know, less material going into manufacturing, and you have a round that is compatible with, you know, revolvers and pistols at the time, as well as rifles, you know, that's a no-brainer. So let's go take a look down here. Bring my marker. We'll go take a look down here at how the 22 shorts from Aguila performed. The super extras. There's one. Oh, look at that. There's 2. This is my first time firing this pistol. I gotta tell you, I'm not impressed with the accuracy at all. Especially from the Aguilas. You got one that happened to hit center mass. I'm gonna call that a fluke. But you know, 10 yards out of a pistol that's chamfered for 22 rimfire. This is why I tell people to go with 22 long on it. I'm not even going to record on this one. It's no sense. All right, so 4 center mass. 3 bench rest. Using relatively the same sight profile. I'm basically lining up the notch of the hammer with the front sight. Or not the notch, but the spur. So again, those were the CCI 22 long, copper-plated round nose, rated at 1200 and 15 feet per second. A lighter bullet than 22 long rifle, but on par with the velocity. The next ones up will be the CCI CB's conical bullet, lead round nose, 29 grain, rated at 710 feet per second. So you're going to notice a change in the sound signature. We'll see if that translates to performance. Man, this is my least favorite revolver as far as reloading goes. Holy shit. Index. There we go. Let's go take a look. All right. Well, that's shit. Huh. Looks like the 22 longs aren't doing the kind of performance I was looking for. This seems like one of those pistols that you like walk up on the target just to see how it's patterning. And we'll probably do that. This is embarrassing. Alright, 4 center mass. And 3 in the head. Didn't fire for the brass as much, so barely stuck, even on a dirtied up gun, because it's significantly lower pressure. 29 grains at 700 feet per second. It's not hyper velocity ammo like you get from modern loadings. It's more tamed down, and it's closer to what this gun was designed for when it started its fabrication in 1872. Of course, this iteration, probably from the late 20s, early 30s, like a 3rd gen. Now, take you a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On target. Something to be said about old school. I just want to add that I'm not surprised by the performance of those lead low velocity bullets, because that was the original design of that revolver. So you got to think about compatibility. There's no forcing cones in it, so it has a long way to go to jump that cylinder gap to go into the fixed forcing cone inside the barrel. So if you got a bullet that's screaming at 1200 feet per second trying to get out of that barrel, it's going to hit there, it's going to deform, it's not going to be as accurate. It's just going to be inherently more or less accurate. When you have a lower velocity round, something that's designed more towards that black powder era, it's going to perform a lot better. That's why I had a hand-sized group out there with a fouled-up pistol or a fouled-up revolver that, you know, is really designed for basic self-defense at a very short distance. So something to consider. You don't always need the highest tech, you know, hyper-velocity ammo if it's not compatible with the low-tech, you know, antiquated firearm that you may have in your possession. Match like with like, you'll get good results.